for live betting.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the broadcast. Loot.bet CS season number 4, getting our best of 3 underway for today. And of course, it is going to be Japaleno versus Se7en, currently finding ourselves sort of drawing near to the point where we get to elimination matches. This being a 1-1 record, whoever loses this will be into that survival fight. Of course, both of these teams mixing up with their results in recent times as well, obviously with Japaleno going sort of winning one, losing one the same as Se7en. Some of their recent results have been interesting, especially with some of their roster changes as well. Freddie B coming into this lineup most notably. But also seeing a couple of changes out of Se7en as well. And of course, I'm not going to be alone during this broadcast. Going to be joined by Over as we get into what is going should be an interesting game. I mean, the Kazakhstan side has looked... I've actually been quite impressed with them. But Japaleno, we know from back in Season 1 how good that these guys can be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were called differently back then, aka Chaos, but still Jalapeno. It's like an older version, right, of their squad. They used to be called Jalapeno before they went to Chaos, were they not, I think?
Yes.
Like, I think the name Jalapeno stems, like, from a long time ago, but definitely, as you said, we've seen them in the past, we've seen them perform, and, you know, I gotta admit that the Swedes, the boys, they haven't really disappointed in the past. I mean, they've had some disappointing performances at times, but overall, they've always been somewhat of a constant team when it comes to performance. Although Se7en on the other side, well, they open up with a bang. It's going to be Smiley with an entry already. This is a very unorthodox pistol beginning.
Yeah, especially with this squad, the Se7en side itself. The last time that I saw these guys, I think, was back in the CIS Esport Pro Championship. They've changed a couple of players out of their rosters, so maybe some upgrades had to be made to sort of push themselves to that better extent. But I know they've brought in Dursky, of course, who was formerly of quite a while ago, back in an Amiga squad. Who was
back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, sort of around, I want to say sort of late 2018. Before his removal, I think he went around the same time as Hitmouse did. But obviously when Amiga upgraded their squad, added some new Belarusians, new IGL with Robo, etc. Yeah, they sort of got cast to the side, not really seeing them doing too much. I saw them around ESCA, sort of advanced or main in a side called Buaxib. But apart from that, they've not really done too much, so I hope he can find a decent home. But at least Pless in this time, able to find a trade back onto Winter. EJL stuck behind quad box and already tagged down to 48, finally going to be aware of it though. Smiley, he gets himself a double off of the back of that. That's beautiful. Down to a 4-on-2 with 15 seconds or so left. Bomb to be planted. And Se7en look like they've taken the advantage cleanly in this pistol.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Relax and Freddie B, they have no kit. And time is against them. And well, HP, he's got himself the P250. This should be easy pickings. Although Smiley will fall, it's going to be Freddie B with 1. Relaxa spots the player in dark. Unfortunately for him, though, it's Lackey that will surprise him with the peak. And so is HP as well from Pool. 7. The pistol is theirs as it was indicated from the get-go. As soon as they took B site, right, we kind of could have called it already that was the end of the round there and then in a 4-on-2 retake or a 2-on-4 retake for Jalapeno. It would be nigh impossible to pull it off. But yeah, overall, I gotta say, 7, I mean, you know, we haven't really seen much out of them in terms of the overall squad, right? They're relatively fresh into this current stage, into our tournaments. And certainly what we've seen from them up to this point, I've been nothing but impressed. I have to say, they have played very well. They've had their own quirks, their own mistakes, but overall, you know, I'll be damned if they haven't played very well.
Yeah, some of their recent results have actually looked pretty good. I mean, when they played, obviously, that first game against Aristocracy, it was a really close, drawn-out game.
Yep.
Had the close 2-1. It went fairly close. I mean, they took Dust 2 into overtime, but then they got slapped up in the final 2 maps. I think we can say they lost 16-1 on Nuke and 16-4 on Mirage. They really got their ass handed to them backwards, we could say. But I mean, a 2-0 over Movistar Riders, the Spaniards themselves being fairly strong, but to get destroyed on a map like Inferno, 16-6, proves what these guys can pull out up their sleeve. They've had some pretty good runs in the Pinnacle Cup as well, albeit a couple of forfeits in there as well. We've got to say, a lot of teams have been pulling out of this ECS Cup left, right, and center. I know Forza, Sprout, Gamer Legion, Heroic have been forfeiting games, crazy. And then they recently played on a Russian LAN as well. Yeah, Tricked.
Yeah.
Played in Hard Cup. Got to, I believe, the decided game and unfortunately dropped out 5th to 6th. But these guys have potential. And especially, like you said, the fact that they're fairly new just makes them a little bit more exciting to give this squad, especially with their upgrades, a little bit more time to develop. But 14 seconds, this is a really late round right here. Freddy B to take down the bomb, though. And that's probably going to be round lost unless something crazy happens. Smiley does find the one onto Pleasant, but Freddy B just dealing damage. I don't think there's time, but I think he might just have it, actually. Actually does get the bomb down, okay. That was literally final tick, but down to a 2-on-2. This is now winnable from 7, even with the kills out of Japaleno.
The scary part is it's HP on the flank, and well, it doesn't even matter. Smiley, he takes down the core player. That's Freddy Frog with the Kevlar and Relaxa, even with a Deagle in hand. It's going to be now impossible to pull it off, and of course it is. HP closes out the round. A valiant beginning here for 7, or specifically a very comfortable beginning for 7. This is turning out to be a pretty tough battle overall for the Kazakhstanian squad. For the Swedish squad. The pistol, of course, you know, nothing you could have done there. The force buy, though, we always know that their force buys have been a problem in the past for a few of their opponents. I mean, sometimes it does kind of backfire a little bit. For the most part, they're very effective usually when they buy up, when they get that scout on Relaxa, when they get that Deagle on Freddy B and of course Freddy Frog. But again, the point is that, you know, they risk it all with the force buy. Luckily, it's only the first few rounds, so it's not going to really have too much of a detrimental effect on them. But this is where 7 have a golden opportunity to not only take it 3-0, but potentially win the gun round, and with that be 5-0 up before they even get close to picking up 1 Jalapeno, that is.
And especially now with the eco round, the full eco, not really having too much of an effect. A little bit of nade damage here and there, some bullets to land, but not a lot to come from it. Oh, Freddy B looking like he might try and line up a shot. Does drop Smiley down to 12. Decent damage inflicted, but yeah, not really going to get too much out of this. Like you said, 7 will be pushing themselves up to round number 3. Nice little lineup there, nearly got a double. DJL won't survive for too much longer, though. Relax the last man, and should be keeping the majority of their squad alive, and exactly so they do. 3-0, perfect start. Kind of nice to see a normal beginning to a Counter-Strike game where we have an actual 3-0 rather than some of the scenarios that we've seen in previous. Back with Havu winning ecos, I was casting the Nest Pro Series yesterday, and Copenhagen Flames won a full eco with USPs and a single scout, which honestly blew my mind. But it happens, and it was again 2-1, or it might have been in the second half actually. Either way, they came back and won the map somehow. It was insane. They went from like 14-7 and won 16-14. And it was like, it was a crazy game. Yeah, finally, it's nice to see a normal start on a map like this. 3-0 with the first gun round to come. No EWP, unfortunately, down to these 5 rifles, but already off to a good start. Relaxer taking down HP, and that's a good beginning at least. Not taking any damage in the crossfire and makes it a 5-on-4 already.
Certainly an effective beginning. Yeah. Lesson. Pop flashes himself into Banana. Unfortunately, he's lingering too long. As soon as he shot the first few bullets, he should have fallen back. He had no support close range. The counter flashes were there, or were not coming in at least. And Se7en, the reaction is perfect. The refrag is there, and all of a sudden, not only can they pick up a rifle for the Mach 10 player, and we just see that Winter switching it out, but now they have the equal numbers, and with that they can break Jalapeno. We've seen in the past, Chaos do struggle to sometimes finish the job on their CT side. And, you know, they have a tendency to, even when they have good games, they have a tendency to sometimes not be able to close them. So if this starts off with a bang for Se7en, I could see trouble on the horizon for their hot chili peppers. 22 seconds, well 20 if we're exact. Se7en, they're taking a long time, very reminiscent of the old school Navi, but here, it's an A execution, a bit of a split, if you will. Freddy B, one Freddy the second, but it's not enough. It's Dersky and Lackey that will be refragging across the board, back to 2-on-2. But look at the rotation, Kieran. Look at how late it is.
Taking such a long time just to get around toward this long position. Relaxer. Whilst there is plenty of time left on the bomb, they don't have a defuse kit, so the longer they wait for this, the more that Se7en's going to get a lot more comfortable. And Lackey on the back of the bomb site does have the angle to play with. Dersky going for the spam, does great damage, but it's down to the 1-on-1. Relaxer on 12 HP, and why would he ever try and survive that? Has to go for the aggressive push, but not going to work out. And Se7en, perfect beginning this far, 4-0, and again, as soon as we sort of saw them beginning to build that economy, build the strength and the confidence so early by getting that 3-0. And the fact that Japaleno coming into the the first gun round had no AWP, very limited utility, no defuse kit. They were so weak in that one. And it sort of, as soon as they found the entries onto the site, it got a whole lot better for them. So this time, not going to be getting a gun round. Down to a little bit of an eco. Have been able to force up some pistols, a little bit of utility, but looking like it is not going to make any sort of difference. First man already dead, and realistically should be a solid 5-0 start on T side. This is a perfect beginning.
It really is a perfect beginning. I am not sure how exactly Jalapeno can get out of this mess, because this is a hole they dug themselves. The force buy caused them to have a very minuscule gun round buy. And overall, I mean, losing the gun round, that's the core, the core problem. And if they can't salvage it the next, then this is just going to get, it's going to exponentially grow into a bigger problem. And honestly, Freddy Frog here, maybe he can put an end to this madness. Maybe he can find a kill or two with his deagle, and then the rest of his teammates might be enough to clean off the mess at hand. But still, Se7en, they're playing so carefully. They're taking such a long time to set up for anything, and well, there goes Dersky. And again, the premise here is that Se7en, look at this, they go back towards B, they get a frag on A, they realize, you know what, smells like a stack, and they read it perfectly. Now Freddy B alone on B site. Unfortunately, even though he has the B in his name, it's not meant to be to save it.
This is perfect. Se7en off to a really good start. The read that they made in that round just shows it. Not only did they have the sort of in-game capacity, but also thinking on a deeper level about these stacks, about these eco rounds themselves, because we've seen so many teams fall down to these sort of rounds where they're into an eco, they have pistols at maximum, little bit of utility, and we see rounds being won off of the back of this. And the fact that Se7en have been able to prevent this, the times that I've seen them in game, I haven't really been able to recall a time where they've lost to an eco. Obviously not particularly been casting too much of Loot.bet, so maybe they've played a game before this, but yeah, the side even back in CIS Pro Championship, I mean, we didn't even see too many forced by victories or notable ones until like 3 or 4 weeks ago, but they seem to be a side that can hold their own, that know how to play this game, and Japaleno, this is where they can start to try and get into the mind of Se7en here. finally have a pretty decent buy. Relaxer and Pleasant going for a double up setup straight away. Think at this sort of stage, even so early into a game, it has to come out on a CT side where they're already 5-0 down. This next round is make or break of this first half, essentially. They lose this one, and Se7en will be at least putting, as their name states, 7 on the board. A nice little aggressive push, but DJL gets read beautifully. Good refrag by Pleasant. With the low HP of HP, be able to get a trade back. Pleasant through the wall. Beautiful shot to level things back off. Gives them the man advantage to work with. And Japaleno, probably for the first time in this series so far, looking like they have at least an advantage to work with as well. As Relaxer takes the shot into Winter, might all but just confirm the round, although they have lost a 4-on-2 already in this game.
Yeah, true. They have lost a clutch position like this, but as you said, this definitely is the first round in the last 5, 6 that we're actually seeing a progress for Japaleno. Or at least a bit of an improvement. But look at this, Dursky refrags for 1. They know he's on short. They've heard the scope. Relaxer, he's been noted. And the only thing that Se7en needs to do is evade the shots of the AWP. There's the plant and a 2v3. Kieran, oh lord, if this goes warily for Japaleno, then I'm not sure what the hell they need to win rounds when they have a 2-man, 3-man advantage. In any case, it is going to be a 3v2 retake. Relax and Pleasant both on the AWPs. That's a problem when it goes for the retake.
Massive
Smoke
problem.
deep into pit. Yeah, that's something that's going to be very hard to remedy. There goes Relaxa. And Smiley, he's ready. He's ready. The angle, though, is favoring Pleasant. It's a good engagement. It allows the fight, though. Dursky, I think he saves it here.
Oh!
Yes, Dursky. I think he's done it. There's not enough time.
He's done it.
There's not enough time. That's it. Oh, wow.
Oh my.
That's a 5 or a 4-on-3. Well, make it a 4-on-2 that they lose. Japaleno, double up retake. That's the scary part of it, right? Something we always talked about, how double up can affect your chances of a retake. And there it is. That's the full effect of the double up. Basically not giving you any chances.
Yeah. As soon as you have that double up in a retake, you instantly need at least one of those players to swap out to a rifle. Just the fact that they didn't do that, or whether there wasn't one available, who knows. But yeah, that's such a situation that you just can't afford to lose there. You should not be losing that one. Especially with Winter on an AWP as well, holding a bomb site like that. Should never be able to hold, but this time HP finds a first. I've not been aware of Freddy B just yet. He's lingering inside of the apartments, but again, Se7en not really presenting too much of an opportunity to find a kill like this, although Relax, if he can go hunting for one, Freddy B takes out Smiley to at least put a little bit of an advantage back in their favor, but with the way that HP is currently set up right now, he can hold off that short push, ensure that any sort of sound info into apartments is locked off and secured, and yeah, smoke goes down to block it off, so Freddy B, a little bit of spam, but position now given up, but yeah, Japaleno might just go and save that AWP for Relaxer. Do not want to be losing that one out, not when they need it so vitally into round number 8. But this is 7-0. Like their name suggests, they're pretty good at reaching that 7th mark. They've already done it on this T side. Even if they were to lose all rounds here now on the CT side to close out the game, 7 rounds going into second half is still good enough. And they can't even finish off Lackey right there. He gets himself one onto DJL and he still gets out alive. Freddy B to be shut down as well, and well, that's the round all but done. Relaxer does save the AWP, but again, it's so minimalistic compared to what they should be having in this entire game so far, but a clean start for Se7en, and well, they're only getting stronger right now, even with not a massive built-up economy. They're still safe for these next rounds.
Yeah, definitely are. I mean, you know, they are not exactly in the best of positions, but I mean, let's be fair. 7 rounds already T-side Inferno this early on, this well performed in those clutch rounds they won. This is now a battle of wits and a battle of mentality really here. Well, a mental challenge for both sides, and right now Se7en is having the upper hand, the upper high ground. And Japaleno, I mean, double up again in effect, it's not a bad idea. We both know Relax and Pleasant, they've usually, you know, Relax, obviously the main opera, Pleasant picking up the secondary usually. Definitely a great duet to work off of each other. But it just... This is a scary moment for them because Se7en, you know, I mentioned previously where they can cascade themselves up to a 5-0 victory, a good start. this is where they can cascade themselves into a potential 9-10-0 result. And it's something that Jalapeno need to be absolutely prepared for. If nothing else, they have to mentally be prepared for that. Freddy B, though, good peek in mid, as the pop flash from Freddy Frog will help him out. And that's the way to begin. This might be a way into this game yet.
Good start for Japaleno, even better as Freddy B. Controlling that entire mid position. Lesson taken down. Lackey gets even better. Round should not be going out of their hands now, and this HP gets shut down by Relaxer. Finally, this double up to come to light. Works out beautifully. A lot of support out of Freddy B as well. Obviously, this roster's taken a little bit of a change. They were trialing Tabs, I believe, in recent times. I know he was playing quite a few officials. Saw a little tweet on Twitter that he's not going to be staying with the squad due to a conflict of roles. So
yeah,
that's one move that isn't going to fit. They keep all 5 players alive in this one, which is perfect though. But yeah, obviously Botan out of the side will be interesting to see what he ends up doing at the moment, considering that I wouldn't be surprised if he goes international at this point. I think playing with Japaleno for this long amount of time and not really achieving too much. I mean, they've had since their roster iteration, like 1 DreamHack appearance and some decent online events, but nothing notable. Botan could easily slot into an international squad.
I would definitely love to see that out of him, because he is a capable player, and certainly the future is bright for him if he's able to prove his worth moving forward, right? I mean, he's already proved his worth in Chaos, we can't deny that, but certainly, as you said, the lack of results, it's something that you just have to accept, that sometimes a team isn't meant to work out.
Good flash.
This is a dangerous maneuver right now. The one thing I dislike of the defense is that Japaleno has themselves the player in CT. Luckily, the smoke, and now Pleasant obviously repositioning himself towards site itself. It strengthens the defense by quite a lot. Something, you know, we again mentioned in previous iterations of our series, especially on Inferno, is how many teams make the mistake of having just a whoa, Smiley. That is too much, but again, to just return to the point that many teams do have that mistake of having a player in CT, having a player on site, and then you easily get locked out of CT by a single smoke, and then you have a single player defending the site itself. Holy scheisse, by the way. Se7en, I mean, is there even a point in saying anything right now? They just opened up a site like it's nothing. That's, yeah, that's not gonna be good, Japaleno. By the way, I have also realized it's not Jalapeno, it's Japaleno.
The P is they baited with the P is the wrong way around.
God damn, the baiters, yeah. I would have preferred to see Jalapeno, but I mean, you know, hot as fire, maybe cold as fire in this case, or cold as ice here. Japaleno, maybe, you know, they're not as spicy as we would thought.
Yeah, this is not particularly as good as it could be. Like you said, they opened up that A-bomb site so easily. Just puts a lot of contention on the A site hold for the CT side and how good they're actually going to be throughout the rest of this half. I mean, even with Freddy B able to spam like that, he gets taken down, traces through the smoke, giving up his position. Thankfully, they can go for a little bit of a rebuy, have that double AWP reinstated to the squad, but the fact that Se7en have already won the first half already and haven't particularly been able to, or haven't shown us like anything in depth, it's more standard defaults working off of the reads of the CT side. We're going to have to start seeing something really good out of Se7en here at the moment. Oh, sorry, out of Japaleno at the moment. Whoops.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel you, buddy. Yeah, I mean, out of Se7en, we haven't really seen anything special, though. Let's be honest. It's been only... I mean, special. It hasn't been something you would say, oh, you know, this is some next-level tactics, some next-level maneuvers. No, it's a simple, clean-cut default they're playing. They're putting up every single round. Banana control is vital for them, although good entry here by Pleasant. Pop flashback. Not sure if Winter realizes there's a player in sandbags. Relaxa find himself one more. But again, as I said, Se7en, they're not doing anything extraordinary. They're playing defaults, and they're winning those duels, and that's the core problem here for Japaleno. That they're losing basically players everywhere. Every single engagement is a loss for them. This time, though, at least a bit of a different outcome, as Devsky is left alone. And, I mean, if they can't win this, then I don't know how the hell they can hope to win this series.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be pulling this one out of the bag. That is, I mean, theoretically for certain, but Dursky, there we go, peeks into the AWP, taken down. This is looking like a decent map so far for Se7en, though. The money is the one thing that is lacking for this side. Not a lot in the bank to really fall back on, so that's the one thing that they do have to be careful of. But so far, we'll be able to put another rebuy onto the board. And of course, with this being the map pick of Se7en themselves, we do want to see a strong victory out of them, considering that we will be going into Dust 2 as the second map.
The map pick of, well, probably one of the best maps Japaleno had played, or Chaos previously, right?
Yeah, especially considering Se7en's banned out Overpass instantly. So,
yeah.
Obviously, I think they would have gone for the Overpass pick, considering we know exactly how this squad works. They go for Overpass. If they don't go for Overpass, they go for either Inferno or Dust 2. Obviously, Se7en picked into Inferno, so it's like, hey, we could have a free map on our hands here. Not really turning out to be like that at the moment. But yeah, like you said, Dust 2 is one of their stronger ones as well. Mirage is also very good. Pleasant, beautiful double, though, down to Banana, holding things down perfectly. Dursky does get grenaded, drop down to 57, and finally, we might be seeing a slowdown of this Se7en side. They've not got a lot of money left, and with only 2 players against 4, I mean, whilst we've seen this situation happen already, what a beautiful peek out of Lackey. Dursky still in toward the apartments as well. That bomb now looking to be planted. This is really where Dursky could make a massive impact, but only if Lackey stays alive right now. But yeah, he's already been spotted. That's not the best thing to do about this situation. Lackey, last man alive, has the Krieg. Powerful weapon, but I don't think he'll be able to hold off against the 3 of Japaleno right now.
You know what I'm gonna say? As long as Japaleno don't do that,
no.
then they can hold on to their lives. And come
my.
on! Why do we have to have almost heart attacks in this kind of position? Japaleno. They're playing with our hearts, and, you know, Pleasant doing a great job on Banana, the double there. And obviously Freddy B clearing B house as well, or A house, excuse me. It's just, whew, they are playing it very close. They're cutting corners, and they are somehow not getting run out of the race. But Se7en right now, it's basic time. It's pistols time. A few utilities to be had, but overall, look at how slow they're progressing forward on pistol rounds. This is what you love to see. This is what you like to see, right? They take their time, even with only pistols and a few Kevlars.
Yeah, this starts to be interesting, especially with Se7en having quite a couple of proficient Deagle players as well. I know Lackey can hit a shot here and there. Dursky, back in his day when he was on Amiga, did look like one of the better prospects. Time to develop. I'm fairly certain he's pretty young as well. As far as I can remember, I don't think he's any more than sort of 24. That's not particularly young in this sort of sense, but that's some. Was that like a lateral?
Come on.
It was, right? He got into the edge of the wall.
Yeah. Although I have to take you back to the point. 24, not young. I am young. Come on. I mean, I'm 2 years older than that, but I am young. Come on. No, of course, for esports, 24 years of age is actually like 35 in real life.
Yeah, it's like middle of the park, right?
Yeah, somewhere there. Well, middle of the park is where Japaleno parked their car, and right now they're getting it towed. Se7en, they have a full biled over Laxa. Whoa, this push, and look at Freddy B. Damn, this is gonna be effective. Freddy B finds himself one more. I'm not sure if that was a smoke frag, the second one, but certainly it's gonna work out. Although Lackey refrags, it's still Japaleno, or Japaleno, Jesus. At this point, we just best call them Papaleno.
Looking good so far from them, though. The CT side is finally starting to develop, and like I said, the fact that Se7en, if they were to lose the majority of these rounds coming into the latter end of the first half, they would still be safe. I maybe would have liked to see 9 or even 10 rounds for the T's, but so far it's an okay scoreline to go into the T side with. Even if you have fallen off in the end of the first half, CT is always going to be a better performance, plus a nice hold of the gap. There we go, winter to be closed off. So, 8-5. Se7en will be, of course, Now facing the, again, tough, hard battle that is this economy deficit that they're going to be facing. We'll be going for a CZ and a pistol buy with some HGs in there, which is nice to see, but I doubt that we'll be having anything too spectacular unless, again, something goes dramatically wrong for Japaleno, but they've actually seemed to have stabilized now. They looked really lost on those first sort of 6-7 rounds, but oh, Plesson.
Ooh, damn.
That's through the wall there. Takes down a beautiful shot onto Lackey. DJL finds a second. Even spots out a third. Good trade out of HPP, but I doubt that he really has anything to back it up with. Yeah, Plesson. Simple shutdown from the man himself for triple. There's Freddy B to close things down. And Japaleno, this is actually a really good end to the first half for them. 6 rounds is decent, and with the massive gap that could have been considering this first half, they've done very well to close it out as close as it is.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a much better performance than what we saw at the start. It really gives them a fighting chance for the second half, and we can see in the round 15th, they will go back to the double up. They will go back to, well, their core roots, their grassroots, and overall, Plesson. Okay, he's feeling it right now. You can see the way he's playing. He's continuously more and more aggressive. And, you know, he just wants to get a few kills in. He wants to make sure that he gets the entry. And I like it, you know. I like the fact that he is so confident in going about those kills. Again, though, Se7en, the slowdown is... It's palpable, basically. They realized how quickly they've been shut down. And look at this, Freddy Frog. A free double. Se7en. They go in one by one, and they pay the price. The slowdown effectively no longer working for them. And they need to, well, they needed to change pace. I would have preferred to see them, you know, strike quick, strike hard. But here, I think Japaleno actually have a much bigger advantage than anything else. This is where the tides might turn, and the tables might actually have already been turned.
Yeah, the unfortunate part for Se7en is they seem to have slowed down massively when theoretically all the momentum should have been in their hands for this first half. Allowing Japaleno to at least close out 6 rounds and theoretically should be round number 7 at this point. Freddy B to close down Winter, and even with a good refrag out of Smiley, I doubt that it comes down to much. Lackey, good response, but again into a 1-on-3, does great damage, but of course cannot confirm the kill itself. So, an 8-7 at the end of the first half, considering that this is the Se7en map pick. T-side was prosperous, but they have to be on their A-game going into the CT side, because even with this being a map pick of Se7en, Japaleno do have the statistical advantage, as well as the sort of most proven results compared to bigger sides. I mean, they've beat Heroic, they've beat Ago, Heretics, Mix back in ECS, so they've got a lot more proven results compared to what this Se7en squad has. So this is where second half gets really interesting. There's a massive kill differential with this squad, 18-13 down to 9 and 5 and 6, but we'll see how the second half progresses. Of course, going to be a short commercial break coming up from Loot.bet. Back with you in 30 to 40 seconds. Of course, do not go anywhere for the second half of this first map.
Loot.bet, made for live betting.
And so here we go, second half, second pistol about to get underway. The interesting factor is, to throw this under the bus, when they beat Movistar Riders 16-6 on Inferno, they got 10 rounds on the CT side, so if there's anything to look back on, Se7en must have a very, very solid CT side.
That's where things get freaky a little bit. Se7en. I fear for Japaleno if Se7en win the pistol. Just because just because of what you said right here. With those 10 rounds won in a row. Whew, it's gonna be a tough one. Very tough one. Of course, Japaleno, you know, the way they've been able to make the comeback here in the first half, commendable, definitely needed, much required. And a slow pistol round, very similar to what Se7en actually presented to us at the start of the game. Very thorough, very, in a way, pedantic, trying to make sure they check every single corner, trying to snuck out, or trying to get as much information as possible before even getting down to the decision whether or not what side to hit. Although it is going to be a big commitment, but Se7en, the read is completely wrong. They've got 4 men on A. This is probably going to be a victory for Japaleno, as far as I can tell here. I mean, the rotation not even close to coming out. Relaxa, the bait and switch was perfect. Now comes the rotation. Now comes the play. Japaleno, you have to hit it now, though. Winter, he's going to peek out, sees a few players. Now they know this is B, but the rotation still very slow and very late. Ooh. Okay, lucky. One through the smoke. Freddy refrags. Well, Freddy B refrags. Still going to be a 4-4.
Good little trade of damage bomb is to be planted, though, and that's where things do get interesting for Se7en on the retake. Great shot by Lackey again. Finding himself the second, make it the third as Dursky snipes away the frag, but not that it matters. The kills are coming in. What a retake that this could be right now. Relaxa, last man, not going to survive. And what a beautiful round from Se7en, just showing how solid their retake is on this pistol. That's a real good way to go about business. 9-7. DT side off to a good start, and like you said, now that Se7en have that pistol round under their belt, that makes it 2 for 2 so far on this map. See what damage they can do to kickstart the CT side, but winning pistol is always a good way to go about it.
Indeed it is. Whew. Oh, man. Well, the fun begins now, eh? Although, a small match pause, or tactical pause, I would presume here for... Now, I'm actually wondering if this tactical could be because of Japaleno and subsequently because of their current economy. Are they perhaps talking amongst each other, discussing whether or not should they go for the AK buy, for the proper investment, the full investment here? And yeah, there's the Galil, there's the Mech 10s, you know, it certainly is feeling like it. I am, to be fair, I like it. It's not a bad idea. We've seen the Hero AK buys, we've seen the Hero AK plays in the past. Usually they can work out, but you have to be very careful with it. And above all else, well, I mean, we all know the what kind of precedence this sets. If they lose this round right here, right now, that's 7 on 11 rounds, potentially on 12, 13 before long. And it's, again, going to be a similar beginning to what we saw in the first half, how Se7en took it in their hands and just, you know, almost ran away with the entire map. But this force buy, well, 4 Mech 10s, it's not a bad buy. It certainly will give them a lot of firepower, but the nades, the Molotovs, and 3 players on Banana holding the line. This is where the problems will arise. Relaxa in full already. Freddy Frog close range. It's Winter that's gonna die, though. Freddy Frog will find it, but it's Lackey with a double HP refrag. Still doesn't matter. Freddy B alone, and he's not even close to Banana. That's gonna be 10 rounds to 7.
A very good hold as well. Se7en just making sure that that B bomb site is again indestructible. Proved it on the retake, now proved it again with the hold and Freddy B, whilst he does have the Galil. Kevlar with it as well, but 3 further players to find, all of which having M4s, and this time should just be going for a save. Carry the Galil over, maybe try and get in the flanks, catch a kill off from behind, but doubt anything will really come of the round, although Freddy B is definitely persistent. Gonna make his way through towards CT, but I think HP might just be somewhat aware of this. Spotted out the man from behind. Freddy B, good shot. Galil able to at least take down one man. That's an M4 that maybe he could switch himself out to, and exactly so he does. There's still plenty of time left to make this round possible. 30 seconds and 84 HP is definitely one thing to work with. And into the bomb. Zersky able to close him down. 10 rounds eventually on the board for DT side of Se7en, looking like 11 should be on its way. Eco to come out of Japaleno. And Se7en again starting to really build that advantage. Keeping it clean in both of these scenarios. T side, it looked shaky on their fourth buy round against Japaleno. And now it looked a little risky again. 2 players left alive is not perfect, but this is where it gets a whole lot better. Should be a clean 3-0 start again for Se7en. Seems to have these fourth buys locked under control.
I mean, you know, you mentioned at the start of the game you haven't really seen them lose against force buys, and I think it reigns true that they have their wits about them when they play against reduced buys or against pistols overall, and certainly it's showing. I mean, we can see how they have set themselves up for the banana take, deep smoke to allow a single player to hold banana effectively, whilst having the rest of the players on A. 2 on long, 2 on site. This is pretty much a picture-perfect hold here for Se7. As long as the guy on banana doesn't die, which is still a big, you know, that's a pretty big problem if he dies. That's usually a potential round-ending problem. But, there should be enough firepower and enough crossfire for Se7 that they shouldn't be threatened in losing this round.
Yeah, especially not with these MP9s. They love to get up close and personal. A nice little money bonus, which is exactly what Lackey's been able to do. Smiley good frag and Pretty Frog. Relaxer last match. Eagle going to do some decent damage, but not going to come to fruition. 11-7. Japaleno. First gun round coming on the board. This is where AKs can start to reign supreme. Krieg in there for Pleasant as well. See what he can do with that one. Decent amount of utility. No AWP this time, though, which again might open an avenue of possibility for Se7, but we shall see. Early grenade down toward the bottom of banana. Beautiful damage. Pleasant and DJL both tagged down already. Good spam by Pleasant, though, and again, the aggressiveness out of Lackey actually does work out this time. Able to upgrade that nice little MP9 into a Krieg. Makes it back into a 4-on-4, and that will force the hand out of Japaleno. Now split toward the A and B bomb sites. Maybe trying to find the early advantage. Find a pick. Maybe aware of Dursky here for Freddie B as well. Checking every single angle. Has to be thorough, so might not be as aware as we imagined. But as he swings the corner, gives up the position. The timing there, so unfortunate. Maybe gets a flashbang in from a teammate, but should be remaining safe. Not the aggressing relaxer.
Oh, okay,
swinging
Smiley.
there, Smiley. Able to get a refrag, make it 2. Okay, this now opens things wide up.
The round gone.
Surely has to be. Yeah, they're running for a save already. There it is, Japaleno, first time success in the gun round.
Well, better late than never, and certainly this comes at the best possible timing it could have had. Potentially, you know, 1 gun round late, and they could have had a 14-15 point on Se7 before they achieved this kind of comeback. But Japaleno, well, certainly a chance now given to them to return the favors, really, to return the numbers back in their favor effectively as well. And to be fair, the money for Se7, you know, it's not bad in that kind of regard. Smiley does have enough for his own rebuy, reinvestment. Dursky's going to need a drop from Lackey or AK or HP. And, well, Winter, yeah, he's going to need a drop as well. And the problem with Se7 is they will reinvest. They will put everything back on the line. But they will be economically unsafe or not safe or unsecured, if you want to call it like that. Where it actually allows Japaleno to potentially make the comeback fully, and not just to tie the score, but keep control of the economy of Se7 and effectively return this map in their own hands, in their own favor.
And this is where things can start to get so much better for Japaleno now. The scoreline could have looked so bad if they'd have lost that first gun round, but now it actually can start to get a lot better, especially with money of Se7 being destroyed if they are getting this next round on the board. We shall see. Freddie B venturing down toward the apartments again, something that he didn't manage to have under control in the previous round. Relaxer again trying to come from short. Dursky has been spotted though. Nice little lineup by Freddie B, but only going to do a little bit of damage. Pleasant takes down Lackey though. That's on Banana, the other side of the map. Action all across Inferno here at the moment. And again, with Japaleno playing such a safe defense, having more of a default setup than what Se7 might have imagined, now puts them in a pretty uncomfortable situation. Dursky peeking in toward the apartments, never really a good sign when your man's or when your team's a man down. Either way, 40 seconds on the clock, and Japaleno will be heading up toward the A site. Freddie B looking to exploit the apartments again. He knows exactly where Dursky is. He's played this position one too many times for him to not be aware right now. As he hears him drop off, knows that he will reposition Winter. Great kill onto Pleasant, though. Bomb still committed. There's not a lot of time left, and yeah, they've left the A site really encumbered right here. If they hit now, Japaleno surely get the site control.
Yeah, Smiley needs to stay alive. That's the problem. I mean, Dursky, of course, is the holder here, the anchor, and he finds one as Smiley was able to find the first one. Unfortunately, the site is still lost. There's enough time to plant just barely. The last tick of the second. And it's going to be back to a 2v3. 7. 2 players through short. Good pop flash. HB and Winter put an end to their push, at least for a few seconds longer. Buys time for Japaleno. And here we go. Winter finds 130. Frog turns around for the 180. Unfortunately, Smiley will be able to connect the dots and connect the frags. 12 rounds to 7. And Japaleno will have to forgive and forget, reinvest, and put this behind them. This is where the fun begins for them. Their money is high enough to rebuy. That's the one thing that they were relying on. And with the plant, they at least secure a potential AWP for Relax as well if needed, if they want it. But damn, 7, they're playing on the edge, right? I mean, they're literally playing on the very edge of their own economy. 1 round away, or 1 round loss away from being completely and utterly reset, and potentially even being tied soon after. DJL, though, look at the aggression. DJL, what is he thinking? Freddy Frog gets away with 1, but it's Winter. The refrags are there. Pleasant comes through, though. Luckily enough, it's still a 3-on-3, but hot damn. That was a close call.
That is perfect so far, again, to make sure those trades come through, and especially with Pleasant down to 13. Those just make the life of 7 a lot easier in this position. They win this round, they surely have a massive chance to push themselves to 14-8, which at the moment the scoreline is really starting to amount. But again, I hate this single-man A setup with 2 players so heavily posted on B. I'd at least prefer 1 man to be close CT for the quick rotate, but either way, they made the retake happen in the last round. They can definitely force their hand again. And finally, HP is going to be venturing through CT over toward the A site. So many grenades thrown that they all but confirm that it is going to be the A bomb site. But there's the hold. Only able to get 1 out of it. But again, Relaxer is down to 61. So maybe an easier frag to be gained by the CT side. He's burning in the Molotov. Able to survive and get the bomb down eventually, but oh, the setup. Do they spot the man in pit? Now they do. Good Molotov out of Smiley as well to force him out. Need to follow it up, and that's great damage. HP finds it, and that's into a 1-on-2, and now Relaxer spammed and defeated. Closed down by 7, and that's round number 13. Again, another retake that goes into the hands of the CT side very valiantly in a very coordinated attack. Their communication, not only their game style is good, but their communication seems to be on point right now.
Yep, it really does seem so, doesn't it? And it's working out perfectly. I mean, everything is just aligning like a clockwork, like a true, well-oiled machine. Japaleno, I mean, they have the AKs, they have the buy, but it's a meager 1 compared to what they were offering in the past. And Smiley and the ops seem to be quite proficient with it. Lack, he sprays down the second, can't connect it though. Not a single point of damage as well on Pleasant, interestingly enough. That's a bit of a shame. So it's a trade. 1 for 1 there, 7. Gonna be taking the bigger loss there, if you ask me. Certainly the CTs, whenever they trade a player like that, they're at a loss because they're the ones that rely on utility more, and they're the ones that rely on numbers more. Well, Japaleno. Well, 1 more. DJL goes aggro, peeks out towards sandbags, gets the frag, but it's Winter with a counter pop flash to help himself to a frag. Ooh, this is a big frag. Smiley doesn't check the corner. Not sure what he's pushing here. Pleasant finds Winter, and the round is in danger, Kieran. We could be seeing a potential 9th here. Right so.
And unless Dursky can bring something massive to the table, no defuse kit, no utility, and only single Kevlar. Retake looking so difficult, and it has to be a very quick one as well. Considering that he doesn't have that kit. Only got around 10 seconds left, 9 at a push here now, and yeah, I don't think he's going to be getting anything out of this. Finds the first little bit of damage, but Pleasant is there to trade it back. They do manage to grab it. Round number 9, Japaleno keeping themselves alive in this T side, and the fact that 7 aren't that close to victory yet Still needing 2 rounds to at least guarantee the overtime position. This is where the T side can start to come back, start to exploit Se7en once again. With the economy that these guys currently hold, 1750 on both Lackey and Dursky. Not a lot of bank. Might have to be a forced buy unless they go for the eco, because Smiley, Winter, and HPP can all buy into round number 24. The rest just being somewhat fairly limited, so potentially could see a force. If we do see a force, Japaleno are going to be right back into the game, surely a 13-11. It might be in Se7en's best interest just to go for an eco, even with the economic disadvantage that both Lackey and Dursky will have. They'll at least be able to put up an AWP at least for the next round.
Yeah, honestly, I would prefer to see an eco here and, you know, do exactly as you said. Get that up, maybe try and play on the superior weaponry, and you might be able to get away with it scot-free. And yeah, they're seemingly going for that eco. They are going to salvage as much economy as they can. And to be fair, again, they have a decent amount of round buffers. So, you know, there's no rush to try and win this. But they want to make sure that once they attempt to win it, they have the best possible chances to do so. And that's, you know, that's not something a force buy or any sort of buy that is not basically a full one will enable you, will give you the best possible chances. And Japaleno, they should be taking care of their own players here. Their economy is in shambles. They can't afford to lose too many players. More than 1 or 2 would already be a problem. And yeah, 7. Okay, they get 1. That's about it. That's the only thing they really get. So yeah, 10 rounds to Japaleno. They are performing a little bit better than yesterday, at least, or a few days ago when they played last Inferno and they lost 6-6, I believe. Was it 6-6? Right there.
I will confirm, but yeah, I think they've had some up and down the one part with Japaleno.
16-8, excuse me, against Forza.
Okay,
16-8, yeah, my bad.
That was in ECS, right?
Yep, it was. Yeah, yesterday. But yeah. Well, Kieran, reality is here, isn't it? The buy is here as well. I mean, you know, it kind of goes against what I said about having a full buy, but the op, I think, kind of outweighs the loss of a single rifle. So we'll see how that is utilized here. 7, they need to be very careful.
Yeah, this is make or break now for 7, realistically. They win this one, they keep themselves afloat. The money of that T side is not good either, so they're sort of in the same position here. Lose this one, and Japaleno for sure bring it to a 1-round differential. Dursky burning in the Molotov sandwich between them. Plessen will find the second, even with the early frag out of Smiley with that AWP. Winter going aggressive, shut down, and finally HPP to return a frag, but it's still into a 3-on-2. The flank already mastered by Freddy Frog. And HPP last man. That buy round is not going to come to fruition now, with Japaleno knocking on the door of getting this scoreline much, much closer. 7 themselves are in a lot of disarray. EGL even lingering to take down the final man, but this for sure should be 13-12, at least into round number 26. They have themselves a full buy, because now the money has finally been sort of leveled off. Every single player above $2,000, so that with the round loss bonus beginning to build as well, they will be into a pretty decent position. But at this point, Japaleno getting very, very close. Should be round number 12 for them coming up, and what a great way to be sort of knocking on your door of your opponents, especially as a T side now. Freddy Frog, decent cash in the bank, Relax are the same. The side is starting to grow, so they're feeling a little bit more comfortable with this T side at the moment. But again, it's that gun round coming up next that really depends on what will happen in this sort of latter stage of this first map. But Freddy Frog, good start, and that should be how the rest of this round goes. With the very basic pistols, should be 13-12, and Japaleno getting close to 7. They should be starting to get a little sweaty right now.
Certainly, it is. It is getting quite hot, isn't it? Japaleno, they might not have much of a punch, but they certainly have a good sting. And right now, 7, they're feeling it hard. The venom working through its veins. Pleasant. He's a little bit in danger if he goes alone too further in, although, okay, he's been heard and, well, spotted now. Winter takes the fight. Somehow he's not dead. How is
Oh my...
How is Pleasant not dead? Although, yeah, oh my god, Lackey finds 2. It's back to 2v2. And Pleasant has 6 HP. That's a problem. 1 bullet, he's as good as dead. Oh, he's...
Look how close he's playing as well. This is not good with low HP, even with Lackey being low. The flash.
Yep.
Oh boy, DJL, last man, and Lackey's on for the ace as well. Dursky's there for the support. As the higher HP, of course, will drop the smoke down onto the bomb, try and force the hand of DJL. Dursky has to be holding the edge of this smoke. Goes for the spam, has to get on it, and again, he's being shut down. I don't think they're aware of the diffuser. Has to try and take him out, but Dursky gets it. And I think there's just enough time. 7, they've actually made the round possible.
What just happened? Also, what was DJL shooting into that fountain for? He's like sending a few bullets into the fountain. Not sure if he maybe has saw the shadow outline of the opponent on his left side, but that's Kieran. Wasn't that a full eco? I want to say, like pistols and Kevlar buy basically just.
Yeah.
And even then,
yeah.
basically USPS's P250 a deagle here and there, and that's about it. Oh my lord. Well, it's a B rush. I like it. Lackey dead. No, not really. The pop flash works out. Well, Freddy B refrags.
Oh my
Still
God.
Winter holding. Winter! Wow. I mean, sure, it's a 1-on-2, but that's how you do it. That's how you hold it. Pleasant, though, smart enough. I love this from Pleasant, right? You have to admire the fact that he realizes, you know what? F the plant. I need to kill. I need to get this into a 1-on-1 if at all possible.
This is so desolate right now for Japaleno. Pleasant down to such a measly set of HP at the moment. 55 seconds approaching. Trying to fake out the plant, but look how cautiously Se7en are playing this right now. They do not want to give anything up, and he knows exactly where sort of Smiley is at the moment. Trying to line up the kill, but not going to matter all too much. 15 to 11. Se7en pushing themselves up to what is now a very respectable set of match points. They have 4 in the bank to work with. Close out map number 1, and such again an economic disarray across this side. Map 10s being the main feature. 3 of those mixed in with a couple of rifles. It looks like such a desperate attempt at a purchase, and that's because it is fighting for survival, but it seems like the fight might just be too much, and theoretically on paper this round should be done and dusted, and Smiley kicks it off already. Relax the good grenades. And again, that AWP is looking to fight back, but this time Freddy, Lackey finds the double, does stay alive as Freddy trades him back eventually, but Smiley again to return, and it's all down to Freddy Frog. I think we know how this one ends.
Well, Freddy Frog, he might be a bit of a jumpy one. He might be even able to salvage it, at least for a little while longer, but it's going to be very hard to do so. Like you said, we usually know how this ends. And Freddy, well, he's got 2 men to take down, and unfortunately for him, he can't even take down the first. Winter has come, and so has Se7en. 16 to 11. It is going to be the final score for Inferno, the map pick of Se7en. And hot dang it. That was a great performance from our Kazakhstanian team. And yeah, Japaleno, it's time to shine, moving on towards Dust 2.
Especially for the fact as well that Dust 2 is going to be the map pick now of Japaleno themselves. But the scary part is Se7en have a much better performance on Dust 2 itself. They've played the exact same amount of maps, 7 across the piece.
Yep.
Japaleno having 43%, whereas Se7en having 57%. So the likelihood of the statistics do show that Se7en have had some very good games. They've played against some lesser sides, that is for certain. They lost against Gamer Legion, beat Aristocracy out just narrowly in overtime, lost to Gambit Youngsters. Obviously, we know they're an incredibly good Dust 2 side. But there's definitely that sort of feet in the back of the mind where if these guys are starting to develop the results that they're getting at the moment, Dust 2, even with Japaleno's better teams beaten, but sort of better teams played and lost against, this could be really scary going into the side of Dust 2, especially with it being a Japaleno pick.